Well, hello, my little potato, you beautiful soul. I always like to start off with I love you, so I love you. I start off with that because sometimes, well, first of all, I don't, like I say, you can, if you really, when you really love someone, you can never tell them too much. And I like to tell you at the beginning so I don't forget because, as you know, I sometimes forget because I'm so excited to talk to you. Um, Gosh, today it was weird because my mentor meeting is usually at 9:30 in the morning, and then it was at 12:30 today. So last night I fell asleep late because I was reading this book. It's called Majesty. I finished it. And then I went to sleep and I woke up and I'm like, oh, I still have plenty of time. I still have a couple hours before, I'm supposed to meet with my mentor. But I met with my mentor. She's actually in Italy right now. So we were just talking about, stuff. I didn't get a chance to tell her everything. Especially, I didn't tell her about dropping off the coloring book at the senior living center. But, that's okay. Um, my, I don't know if I told you, but New Orleans is confirmed. Like, I have the ticket. I'm going to the vendor fair. My friend said I could stay at his house. I have my airplane ticket, so everything there is booked. Um, I met with my mentor. My sister let me use her card to go to the event, which thank God because it rained so hard. And even though it's close by and I could walk, it's close enough to walk on a day when it's not raining. But today was like freaking cats and dogs. But I got there late, and as I got there, it was like halfway, and then it was supposed to be from 12 to 2, but people started leaving at 1, and then I sat down, and you know, most of the people left, and then that was fine because it was good because there was like 4 of us left, and it's nice because when it's 4 people, you're able to like connect with each other more. So we talked about the vendor fair, because I asked them like, "Oh, are you guys going to that?" etc. Told them about that. And then me and this two like one lady had to leave and then this other 2 ladies and I were talking at the end. And then one lady left and then this other lady and I were talking and because she's Thai and I was asking her about this Thai dish that I really like. And she's the only person I've ever talked to that knows what I'm talking about this Thai dish. And she goes, "Oh my God, that's like my favorite," And I told her, I was like, "Yeah, my friend used to make it." She goes, "Oh, my friend must be a really good cook because that's not something that people usually make." And I don't understand the reasoning behind that because it's a raw dish. Like it's literally raw shrimp. It's like a marinated shrimp ceviche kind of thing, And that's what I call it, Thai shrimp ceviche. So good. And she's like, no, she's like, very few people make it. Restaurants don't make it. But we were just talking and we were talking about that. We were talking, and so she and I connected over that. We were talking about skincare in Thailand and she goes, oh, I was like, oh, you should get this brand. It's really well recommended. And she's like, which brand? And she goes, I was like, this brand. It's called Ingu, INGU. And she looked it up. She goes, that guy. And I'm like, yeah, that guy. And she goes, I know that guy. And because the guy who's well, he's not the founder, but he's like, he works at the company. His family founded that company and he works for them. Anyway, so she's like, oh yeah, I'll get my friend to bring it from Thailand and then you can try it out. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then we were talking and, she's like, I really want to start a podcast. And I was like, oh, absolutely, you should start I was like, what do you want to start a podcast? She's like, oh, I was like, oh my God, absolutely, you should do a podcast. You should do a book. I was like, you can write a book and you can talk about a podcast and you can talk about all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, this is how you record the podcast. You call it, this is what you can call it. And I said, she's like, well, I'm trying to go after everybody. I was like, no, don't go after everybody. Go after the Thai people only. And if you only sell to Thai people in Katy, you'll be set for the rest of the year. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. You don't need a million clients. You just need all the Thai ones in Katy to come to you and like buy from you. And I was like, you've been in, he was like, you've been, and I told her all, I was like, and she was like, she was like, I'm so emotional because you just look and you're like, oh yeah, you should do this. You write a book. And I'm like, that's how you do it, because we bonded over like skincare and food and like all the stuff. We go to the same gym. Um, and I think it's important, like I say before, like even the encouragers need encouraging. But besides that, I do think that everybody has a business in them, but also not only that everybody has a business in them, but you need the right person to see you and to see what you're doing to help you to give the perspective, which reminds me that I set up an I emailed the person at school so that I could have an appointment with the person who's the evaluator at school, because my classmate met with him because we were like, and even the evaluator was like, you guys are so strange because you guys are the only ones that have ever complained that you got hundreds. And we're like, well, we found out that like, our it was basically copy paste, and we're like, what's going on here? And so we just wanted to know that, somebody actually did look. And so my classmate, he recommended that you make a meeting with the evaluator, and I do, because I want to catch my evaluator's perspective from like what they're doing. So I am working on that. So I'm working on that a lot. And speaking of, when I was on the phone with my mentor today, I showed her my new coloring book and all the changes and the cover and the font and everything. She was like, I love all the changes. So I was like, I know I'm doing good things there. And, but yeah, meeting with that lady today, it was like, yeah, the encourager needs encouraging. In that same vein, I was in the kitchen earlier today because after I came back from the event, I had to go to the grocery store, came back, and whatever. And I was hungry later because I didn't really eat today, and it was like 5 o'clock when I ate, which whatever. And no, actually, it was like 6 o'clock when I ate because I had to wait for my mom to leave and I had to make food. And I was in the kitchen earlier, and so earlier this week I baked cookies, and I baked cookies because my dad asked me to. And I was in the kitchen, and I shouldn't have been in the kitchen because I'm in the kitchen. Mom's all like upset that I'm in the kitchen anytime because God forbid I eat. And she said, why did you bake cookies? Who told you to bake cookies? And I said, Dad asked me to make them. And she goes, don't make cookies. And she was upset that I made cookies. I said, Dad asked me to cook. She goes, don't make them anymore. Well, too bad for her. She's going to find out next Saturday I'm going to be baking because I'm going to be making the gooey butter bar. So why does it have to be like this? Literally, like, why does it have to be like this? Why does it have to be so freaking difficult? But yeah, no, I baked the cookies today and they turned out great. And I told Dad when he came home later, I was like, hey, Dad, and he goes, don't listen to her. Bake the cookies if you want to. Like, thank you. And I said, literally, and I told him, I was like, she just doesn't like it if I do anything that brings me happiness. So frustrating. Literally. Like, I was telling my friend that there are 3 accounts that I follow. POV husband, who makes food for his wife. There is the Korean mama. Her son takes her out to eat, and she loves to eat. And then there's Crazy Korean Cooking, and she makes food for her parents, and her parents love food, especially her dad. And I like watching those accounts because I like watching people eat who are like happy to eat. Like in my family, like like we eat, but like I have my own issues with food. Okay, so I'm not gonna include myself in this, But like my dad, he like he's strict with himself when it comes to food, right? Like he'll eat things, but he's like, oh no, it's late. I don't want to be eating too much. I don't want to get fat. Which my dad has a long way to go to being fat or even overweight. My mom has body issues. So she just, she doesn't enjoy food. If she could like not eat food, that would make her happy. And I'm just like, here. And that's why people are like, why don't you bake more? And I'm like, because every time I bake, if my mom's home, like, you know, that whole thing, like, don't yuck someone else's yum. They yuck my yum. She yucks my yum. And I'm like, but I'm very proud of myself because I was in and I know it seems silly, but I was in a Facebook, I was on a Facebook, I was scrolling Facebook just a second ago, and there was a Facebook post from a group called What's Happening Katie, and it's like, oh, promote your business here. And I was like, okay. So I put a post and I was like, I was like, coloring book, here's, you know, here's the listing, and got questions, here's the website, you know? And I did that. And I told my friend about it. And my coach that I talked to, she bought it and she got it today. And she texts me and she goes, she sent me a picture and she goes, I love it. And I'm like, what do you love about it? And she goes, everything. I scanned some QR codes. I love the originals. The colors used in one are so calming and filled with childhood euphoria. I love the coloring sections. They're so complex and filled with dopamine. I'm looking forward to color. This would be my day off activity. And she wrote, I have an event today, so once I get back, I'm gonna scan all the codes. And she goes, the letter is so cute. It feels like you're talking to me, which is exactly what I did. I made a coloring book so that coloring wouldn't have to be lonely. So you could color with someone. You know what? I should go back to that What's Happening Katie post and edit my thing. Cause okay, what did I write? Skip. This is the one I wrote. Okay. Uh, doo, 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 doo. Come on. I know I wrote it. Oh. Usually when you post on Facebook, like the first post is the one you made. Mm, oh, I wrote, I create coloring books based on my original abstract art that have facing pages so you can color with someone as well as music, so it's an immersive experience. You access the music via QR code that takes you to a landing page. Need more details? And I actually put the Amazon link. So I should I put something else? There you go. Well, here we go. Well, we'll find out. You know, I could get sales from that, you know, because my goal is my 90 oh and my 90-day goal is to at least sell at least 100 copies of my coloring books every month. And I also turned in my homework early, so then that way I can take my sleeping pill and go to sleep because the next couple weeks are going to be pretty busy for like I think it's going to be pretty busy from now on, so I just want to like not just rest up, but like I don't know, something because right now I'm just I don't know. I've been doing the nervous system reset and all of that. So, and I did do like a bunch of ab exercises earlier, so that should help too. I'm just doing what I can, right? And sometimes I feel like I'm doing more than I'm not doing as much as I can, and then sometimes I feel like I'm doing more than I can. So I don't know, maybe it's just balance. So, but at least today I know I impacted someone's life today in a positive manner, so that's good. So that's really all I got for you today. A busy day and a not so busy day. So, as always, you know, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me because I know you're busy too. And I know you got your own things. And I always take, you know, I don't take you listening to me for granted. And I appreciate it more than you know. So, Thank you so much for listening. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.